Hey, what's up guys, this is your boy Solus. I'm here to show y'all a advanced guide on Kabari. So the first one is going to be the backdash catcher. I do this a lot in matches, right? So what you're going to do, you're going to do close slash for 2H. Once you do 2H, walk up, you can do Kabari, right? Now that was a late Kabari, right? That's that's the Kabari for the DP version, right? So if I do it a little bit earlier, right, you get more damage. So the second one is for the DPs, which I did in the first one, right? So check this out. It trades, right? I'm gonna show y'all the DP version again, right? There you go. And yeah, it gives you benefits, right? So like let's say they about to mash like 5k, doesn't really matter, right? It's a kind of hit. Only time it won't work is when the opponent like do a super, right, or a late DP, right? But other than that, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. It's very time based. They're gonna jump, right? But even if you do it later, it doesn't really matter. So that's how you catch Leo with the backdash catcher. If you didn't realize, you have to micro step back to get that to work. By the way, you have to micro step back. If you don't do it properly, because then you still gotta time the Kabari still. So you gotta do a micro step and time the Kabari to make sure that it hits Leo, because it's not a guaranteed Kabari confirmed. You can't guarantee this. You have to actually time it. And if you don't time it, the Kabari is gonna miss and the Leo is going to hit you. So you gotta make sure that you do this properly, right? Oh, this one isn't real. It's not real. Like if they block the guys, they can mash after the guys, because don't forget Kabari is 18 frames, so they have time to do whatever, right? But if you once you condition your opponent, right, they're not gonna mash anything. They're not gonna mash anything. Think about it, because it puts you close to them. Right? Right? It puts you close to them. So like you're +2 here, so you have a chance to get out or B plus. You know, you could do 5p, right, if they're not ready to grab you, right? Because if they grab you, you know, you're pretty much, you know, you're not plus anymore, right? So yes, they have a chance to grab you here, but you also have mind games where you can either 5p, you can either backdash, or you can either do your Sansin, right? Because everyone that get hit by this always go for the grab. Always goes for the grab. So I always have my two options where I backdash. I either do your Sansin and I get a counter hit, and we get a big combo, right? That's why I like to do it, because you know it's mind games. It's putting on the mental stack over and over and over and over until your opponent gets frustrated. And a lot of people get frustrated on these Kabaris because they don't want to get put in a situation where they only have a limited space to move around, right? They only have a limited space. They can't back up, because if they back up, they can't block anymore, and if they can't block anymore, that's a big damage combo for you, right? So that's why I do it a lot, right? I do these Kabari springs a lot, because I don't want my opponent to have a good time. I want to have a good time. You know, I want to have a good time, so I'm gonna do this to have a good time, and you won't. This one is off of the BNB again. Now this one is time based, spacing based, right? You see me do this one a lot if you're in my streams, and I do this one a lot because I don't want to keep on doing the same Oki over and over, right? I like to mix it up, right? So I'm gonna do my BNB, right? And there you go, right? Now, the reason why I put this in advanced is because you have to time this, right? As you know, for different weights you're facing, lightweight, medium weight, heavyweight, depending on how much weight they have, they go further than where soul is, right? So like lightweight they go further, heavyweight they go a bit closer, right? So you gotta time that. You gotta time your BNBs. You have to not time your BNBs, but you have to time when you're gonna do Escabari Oki, right? That's why it's in advanced, because you have to know the spacing on which weight to do it on, right? So medium weight, you don't want to do, you don't want to, you know, dash all the way in and then get hit by DP, right? So for jumping, as you know, he jumped, I timed my Escabari properly and he got hit, right? So let's say he brought a back dash, right? I love doing it also, right? In a back dash, because they stay trying to back dash and they get caught. Right? But you also need to make sure, right, that you space it correctly so that even if they don't do back dash and they do DP, it's still gonna whiff and you're gonna hit them with Escabari. That's why it's advanced, because you need to make sure that you are covering two parts of the Oki that makes you safe, right? DP, right, and back dash, right? Yeah, I mean you're still safe if they back dash, right? But you don't have Oki anymore. You pretty much are back in neutral, right? So you're covering two things that is a plus for baiken. Ooh. Got him. Right? So that is why I love doing this, because it catches back dashes. And most people who have a DP, they always think that, you know, he messed up the spacing, so I'm gonna do a DP. Most of the time, it won't work, because if you once you space this out correctly, they can't do nothing about it. They really can't. I'm gonna show y'all this against Leo. No, this is the version that I do, right? Because you don't want to dash in towards Leo on wake up and then do Escobar, because you know you're minus. You're not already, you're plus, but you're minus because of his DP, right? His DP is huge, so it's gonna hit you. And don't forget that Baiken's Escobar has a extended hurt box. It turned out to be universal, so that is wonderful. So this one is advanced, right? No one does this. No baiken player does this in a block string. As you know, baiken doesn't have many block strings, so this one I'm showing you is out of the woodworks, right? This one is advanced because you gotta realize that 5p is small. It is stubby, so you can't mess this up. There is no messing up here, because if you mess up 5p. And when I mean messing up, I mean the spacing of it, right? Where it hits the edge, right? Or the hilt, right? If it hits the hilt, your 6p is gonna whiff. You don't want that. You want to make sure that all of the block string hits, so that way it works, right? So check this out. Yeah. The universal block string for any character that has a DP. The last one is doing a button into Escabari, a button into RC Escabari, right? Not fast RC, slow RC, right? So watch me do this, right? So Soul is gonna do a 5p and I'm gonna do a Escabari, right? It's gonna trade and it's gonna be in my favor. This is the reason why I like it a lot. Right, because it's in my favor, right? That's the reason why I do it. It's in my favor. It doesn't matter if they press a button or not. The trade is gonna be in my favor. If we traded, it's gonna be in my favor. It doesn't matter. Most opponents don't know this, so they would try to go for a 5p and they would get hit, right? Now for 6p's, they probably will win because it's, you know, it has iframes. What a stupid button, but yeah. Yeah, so it loses to 6p's, but people that I face don't really do 6p's on this. They really don't do anything. The best they would do is try to do 2P or 5P or 2S. Sometimes they would do a DP, and sometimes they would do a 6P, but it's not gonna happen over and over, right? Because I mostly change up the way how I use RC, a button into RC, right? I would either do walk up and then do 2K, or just do Kabari, right? And they have to decide before I press the button, right? They have to commit first before I commit my button. Anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. Thank you guys so much. Tell me what you think about the advanced guide down below in the comments.